All right, welcome. You ever get that feeling that there's some kind of deeper pattern to everything? Like a code hidden just under the surface of the world? Well, today we are diving deep into a source that suggests this isn't just a feeling at all. It's actually the fundamental architecture of reality.
So let's just start with this question right here. Is there a hidden language in the world around us? What if the very numbers and letters we use every single day aren't just symbols for things, but they're actually geometric keys that unlock the principles of existence itself? The source material we're digging into says, yeah, they are. Here, let me show you. Let's do a really quick, rapid-fire example.
Okay, so take the number 0. Its shape, that perfect circle, that's not some random choice. Geometrically, it represents the void, and not an empty, dead nothingness, but a space that is just pregnant with infinite potential. It's the source from which all things spring.
And then you've got the number 1, just a single vertical line. What does it represent? Well, geometrically, it's the very first act of awareness, that I am presence, standing up, singular, and unified. It is literally unity made visible.
And finally, let's look at the number 2. I mean, just look at its shape. It's an S-curve, right? It's a perfect wave. Geometrically, this shape embodies the principle of duality, that back and forth oscillation between poles. Light and dark, up and down, masculine and feminine, that literally creates the fabric of our reality.
So, that little demonstration was just a tiny glimpse into this system that's been hiding in plain sight all along. In this first part, we're going to zoom right in on these fundamental building blocks of meaning, a system that our source calls consciousness technology.
And right here, this is the core idea. We're not just talking about squiggles on a page that you use to write a shopping list. According to this source, these are functional technologies. Ancient cultures actually used them as tools to map, to understand, and maybe even to interact with the underlying structure of consciousness itself. Pretty wild, right?
And here's where it gets really mind-blowing. This isn't just a one-off thing from a single culture. No way. When you really start looking closely, you see the exact same fundamental ideas being encoded in completely different systems, from totally different parts of the world, separated by centuries. It's like a universal language.
Okay, check this out. Just look at this slide. You've got 3 completely separate ancient cultures, Aramaic, Norse, and Persian. And each one of them uses their first or their most important letter, the aleph, the Anzus rune, the alif, to represent the exact same, really profound concept, this idea of a silent, divine breath of unity, the single point of consciousness before it splits apart and becomes the world we see. Is that a coincidence? Well, the source we're exploring suggests it's a recognition of the same fundamental truth. Okay, now let's see how this thing builds on itself. We're moving up a level, from individual symbols to the big, grand stories they tell. So if letters are kind of like the basic code, our source suggests that the myths and the gods, well, they're the complex programs that the code runs. We're zooming out now to the level of archetypes.
So the source brings up this absolutely incredible concept it calls the universal pantheon. And the idea is that all these figures we know, Hermes, Shiva, Odin, Isis, they aren't actually separate beings. They're masks. They're personifications of fundamental cosmic forces. It's almost like there's a single actor, consciousness itself, playing all the different parts in this huge cosmic drama, just so it can better understand itself.
And what's really fascinating is how this slide breaks it down. So on the left, you've got this archetype of the messenger, figures like the Roman Mercury, the Greek Hermes, the Egyptian Thoth. Their whole essence is about transmission, communication, being a bridge between worlds. Then on the right, you've got the transformer, like the Hindu gods Kalki and Shiva. Their essence is renewal, the kind of destruction that is absolutely necessary for new creation to happen. You see? These aren't just characters, they are fundamental cosmic job descriptions.
And that is the crucial point. This completely reframes how we think about divinity. The source calls this concept gods as verbs. These forces aren't some static beings that you worship from a distance. No, they are processes. They are actions that we can actually embody. The messenger is the process of communication. The transformer is the process of letting something go so you can start fresh. They're actions we all participate in every single day.
Okay, for our last section, we're going to zoom out one final time. We've looked at the letters, we've looked at the stories. Now let's look at the actual blueprint for the entire cosmos that holds all of it together. So yeah, this is the big one. If all these symbols and archetypes are part of one single coherent system, then what's the operating system itself? What is the ultimate structure that everything else is built on?
And what's incredible is that it doesn't matter if you're looking at ancient Hindu philosophy or Norse mythology or even modern chaos theory. You find these strikingly similar answers. You have the concept of Indra's net, this cosmic web where every single jewel reflects every other jewel. You have the Norse world tree, Yggdrasil, that connects all the 9 realms. Or you have the mathematical beauty of a fractal, where the same pattern just repeats over and over at every possible scale. They are all trying to describe the exact same thing.
And this is the ultimate answer. The web, the tree, the fractal, they're all just metaphors for one thing: consciousness itself. According to our source, consciousness isn't something that we have, it's what we and everything else are. It is the fundamental primordial soup from which all of reality, every number, every god, every galaxy, emerges.
So when we see this quote again, now that we understand the whole cosmic structure, it just has a totally new weight, doesn't it? It means this cosmic code isn't just something out there for us to observe or decode. If reality itself is a conscious, creative process, then our participation in it is absolutely fundamental to its very existence.
So think about it. If the entire universe is just a single consciousness expressing itself through a grand story, then we aren't just characters in that story, we're co-authors. This code isn't just something to be read, it's something we are actively writing every single moment of our lives. So the final question really isn't just about what the story means. It's about what part will you play?